Hello everyone and welcome to my channel once again. So, a lot of you have probably seen videos about the decline and what you could call death of Diablo 4 in the past days. It's actually more than 99% of players that stopped playing the game. We went from 6.5 million player count in peak hours almost 1 month after the release of the game to less than 50,000 players peak. That's what we have today, which is absolutely insane. You basically cannot meet anyone in the game anymore. And like instead of repeating, all of the videos that have been done already, talking about the decline, etc. I decided to make a video with my 10 things that either needs fixing or don't even exist in the game in the first place. 10 things that in my opinion, if they are fixed or added, are 100% gonna save the game, and not just save it, actually push it to the top of gaming industry, at least considering ARPGs. So let's get right into it. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts, what are your opinions on it, what are your reasons for leaving or playing the game, or like what would you want to be added into the game. First thing, and it's probably the most important thing, and I totally don't understand how that cannot exist, or more like how they could release game like Diablo without it in the game, and that's offline mode and PC couch co-op. Yes, like why would we be suffering from bad latency, bad connection or whatever when playing Diablo 4? And why would PC gamers be suffering from not being able to play local co-op? Like, that makes no sense. Diablo is actually the biggest fun when you just invite your friends over to your place. You sit down on a sofa and you just play together, have some drinks, food, whatever it is you like, but you play together and you have fun. Like, there is absolutely zero reason for PC players to be stripped of that option, because I personally have my PC connected to both the screen, both the monitor, and to my TV, because I love to play on a controller. So, like, why am I not allowed to play with my friends? Why am I not allowed to play with my friends when they come over? And why am I forced to play only with a connection? Like, what if I just, what if we are going into the woods, like, there's no internet or something, but again, we are with friends or family or whatever, and we just want to play some games, have some fun, like, or the internet connection is cut off, something happened. Like, why would we be restricted from playing the game that we enjoy? It simply makes no sense. Number two, I think that even though the game is, they try to make it into like MMO or whatever, like we have all the online gaming, we can meet players, in the world, etc. There is no actual focus on the team play. Like, you get absolutely nothing for playing in a group. So in my opinion, number two is focus on team play, and to get some benefits when doing so, like increased uniques drop, increased super uniques drop when playing T100s or Uber Lilith in a team, etc. Simply something to make people wanna play with their friends, or maybe even random people, that will simply like increase the amount of fun, immersion, or just simply like drop rate or something, Number three, better crossplay. Like, I kinda touched on it in the first part. when I was talking about PC Couch Co, but simply better crossplay and peripheral support in general. Like, this is actually my first Diablo game, and let me tell you, for a beginner ARPG player or like Diablo 4 player or Diablo in general, playing on a mouse and keyboard is the worst experience I ever had in more than 20 years of gaming. Like, playing Diablo on mouse and keyboard only gives me like wrist pain, carpal tunnels within 30 seconds of playing. I'm a rogue player, and doesn't give me, anything in return. It basically only lets me, it has a higher skill ceiling when playing on a keyboard and a mouse, of course, but it like only gives me the option to precisely aim some of my spells. But that's pretty much it. Like, the amount of clicks you have to do, like, it feels so unnatural compared to Gamepad. I even suggested to all of my real life friends that are playing Diablo 4 to get Gamepad, and all of them agreed that the game is like twice as good on a Gamepad. Like, I would personally rank Diablo 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 on a mouse and keyboard, but 8 out of 10 on gamepad. It's just so comfortable. It feels natural. It's just good. Like, it's like if I were to play Zelda on mouse and keyboard, which is not even possible unless you use some hacks or something, of course. But like, if I were to play, like, why would I play Zelda on mouse and keyboard? It is like, it's an RPG game. It's just like more comfortable, better, more natural to be played on a controller. I mean, that's my opinion, but I think that the gamepad really is the way to play the Diablo. But we need the support of gamepad, sorry, to be better. Like, we have lock-on targeting in the game. It doesn't do anything. Nothing. It literally doesn't work. Like, often when I'm playing, I click lock on target. I'm in the middle of a fight, fighting some elites. I click lock on target, and it targets barrel, in the corner of my screen or something. That simply makes no sense. I think what we need, like 100% what we need, is lock on target being on elites and players only, or like, it should prioritize them, and it shouldn't even be hard to do because the game can already distinguish whether you're fighting a fodder mob or elite or a player. So the coding is already in the game to distinguish between like who or what is what. You just need to add the option for lock on target to either only be targeting elites and players or prioritizing when they are on the screen. That way you can easily fix all of the controller issues with, like, skills like shadow step, targeting random stuff, as I said, barrels in the corner, etc. Okay. By doing that, you also improve the crossplay, because, and that brings me to my fourth point, leaderboards. Like, mouse and keyboard players obviously have an advantage. They can swap items mid-run. They can use shadow step. Like, literally, you can skip texture. Like, if there's a mob in the corner of your screen, like, you can just see it a little bit, you can jump on it. Like, you can literally ignore the texture, jump through several floors or something, stuff like that. And that's just not possible on a controller. So basically, leaderboards, even though they're super important and they should have been in the game since the beginning, because without leaderboards there is no reason to actually continue playing the game after a while, because there's nothing to achieve, there's nothing to strive for. But unless the crossplay and peripheral support is fixed or improved, you will never be able to achieve the same results as mouse and keyboard player. And I think that's just wrong and it needs to be fixed. Um, on to the fifth point. As I said, leaderboards, nothing to do when like you reach a certain point in the game, because there is no real end game. What I think we need is Nightmare Plus. Yes, hear me out, okay? Same as Mythic Plus in World of Warcraft, we already have the affixes, but it would work completely differently. You would get, like after you finish your first T100, you would get a unique sigil. A sigil you cannot salvage, that never disappears, but that can get improved. And whenever you play that sigil and you finish the dungeon, it will actually upgrade to 101, 102, etc. And it always gives you random affixes. That way, you can't just choose the affixes that you like for the leaderboard runs. You can't just choose crit strike chance, and negative affixes basically non-existing, etc. No, it's all random. And it can also be separated from just like classic speedruns T100s. I have like two different leaderboards for that. But like Nightmare Plus would, I think, be like a lot of fun, especially because T100s are pretty easy. Like a lot of people are actually finishing those in 2 minutes or even under 2 minutes, etc. Like, so like what's the point, right? Just make it harder, make it more challenging, more fun. So, and as I said, that sigil would never disappear, could not be salvaged, and if you don't finish the dungeon, if you die, nothing would happen. You would still keep the same level. Like if you died on a 103, it would not deplete like in World of Warcraft. That's the worst thing, anyone has ever thought of. It would not deplete. It would just change into another dungeon with different affixes. So, and then the leaderboards would be based on the difficulty of the sigil and also the speed, of course. And like that's something I would definitely want from the game. And talking about Nightmare Plus or like Endgame in general, in point 5, I think we also need a unique PvP instance, like a Colosseum or something, that where you can just go or like queue up for, and you will be put against other players 1v1. Whenever you win, you would get some points. There would be like a rated system, and you would rise. And based on your like MMR, based on the amount of your wins, you would be matchmate against other players with similar MMR, stuff like that. I think that would be pretty awesome, or maybe even like 4v4 arena, but in 4v4 I think everyone would just, pick some AoE and just measure their button and hope to AoE kill the other team. So that's still kind of like, would it even work? But 1v1, PvP instance definitely should be in the game. Talking about instances or dungeons, that brings me to point number 6, and that's bosses are too easy. Like if you play T100 and you reach the boss, then you already finished the dungeon. Like the boss doesn't mean anything. The boss doesn't do any damage, has close to no mechanics, simply does not matter. Like you don't even need the bosses in the game. Like literally just if you delete them, no one will even notice because they don't matter. On the other hand, fodder mobs, like literally not even elites, just some random fodder mobs, can instant kill you. Like, you run around the map, there's nothing on the screen, not even on the minimap, you don't even see the dot on the minimap, and suddenly you die because there's some corpse bow who instant kills you, even though you have, full best in slot gear, all of the DRs, available to you, 16,000 HP, etc. Like, that should never happen. And it's not just the corpse bow, like, there are other mobs, like stingers or raids, and stuff like that. They literally just, banshees. They hit you once with auto attack, and they're not even elites. And it's like, 80% of your HP gone. That simply makes no sense. So I think elites and bosses need to be harder. Definitely bosses, elites not so much, but bosses definitely need to be harder. Like 400% harder, 500% harder, doesn't matter. Just, it needs to be the challenge. Like you reach the boss and you're like, this is the guy, this is the challenge, this is, Yujiro Hanma that I gotta defeat, as Bucky or something. Sorry, I'm a weep, so. But like, now they don't matter. I think they need to matter, and like ordinary mobs that no one cares about, and like they should not matter as much as they do at the moment. Like it should simply be reversed. Um, Point number 7. My finger's not working. Point number 7. So talking about PvP, or about the whole idea of Diablo being like an MMO or online game, like why is there a limit to, I think, 5 players you can meet outside? Like what is that? What like what is that? If you enter the PvP zone, because PvP is actually a lot of fun, you are not gonna meet anyone. You're gonna meet like one person or two, and that simply makes no sense. Like you're gonna spend 99% of your time just waiting for players to come and just killing some mobs in the PvP area. So unless of course you join someone else's party, like you actually need to find people playing PvP, join their groups, so that you can get to their layer and then play with them the PvP. What the hell? Just increase the number of players you can meet outside, increase the number of players per layer. Simply make it so that you can actually interact with the players, so that you can actually play PvP. Number 8. Why am I not? Number 8. This is like quality of life change. Okay, it's no longer like bug fixes or stuff like that. Like auction house and better item management. Like how the hell is there no auction house in the game? Like, come on, it's Blizzard. You already have a game with auction house. Like literally, take the auction house from World of Warcraft, put it to Diablo. Like, why is there even a player trading system when we need Discord to create auction house, making it completely, like it's not fun to use Discord for auction house. It like there are also language barriers. Not everyone is on the Discord, etc. We need auction house. Just come to the vendor, to the auctioneer, and do the same thing as in World of Warcraft. Just put a minimum, bid price, put a buyout price, and wait for people to bid on it. And like, that's it. You don't need to know the language of anyone else. You don't you don't need to discuss something. There are people not DMing you, trying to, steal the item from others, stuff like that. You don't need any websites for selling items. Like, why would you? Why would you, when you can just add auction house into the game? It needs to be there. Like, unquestionably needs to be in the game. And better item management, like, obviously, like, we are getting some of it, like, gems not being in the actual inventory or stash, but we need more. We need way more. Like, we definitely, like, okay, stash being shared across all your characters is nice, but you have just one stash. Like, I have one character that I'm playing. It's Rogue, and my stash is full. Just because I want to try different builds, or I want to keep items that are like good, and I might be able to reroll them to something better than what I'm actually varying when I get enough materials to do so. Like, we need bigger stash. We definitely need some, I think one stash like back, we need account wide, so that we can send stuff between our characters. But the rest, be character specific, and also the ability to, for gold, buy more space in the stash. Like as it is in World of Warcraft, if you go to the banker, you can buy more slots. Each new slot is increasingly more gold, but you can buy a lot and a lot and a lot, slots for that. So we definitely need that in the game. Like it needs to be there. Like there's no way for it not to be. Like the whole idea of stash, or the way it works right now, is just like, who came up with that? Like who came up with that? Definitely not someone who actually gave a thought about it. So we definitely need better item management. Also, obviously, some filters, like I only want to see items that are, like 80% quality, or I only want to see items that got like vulnerable crit strike damage, crit strike chance on it, and nothing else. And then the ability to like check these items to keep, and then just destroy everything else, stuff like that. We definitely need that. It's so annoying to deal with the items. So yeah. Now, point number 9. Point number 9. Like the Paragon board. Really? Each time you want to change your build, you gotta go point by point by point, spend minutes on it? Like, again, who thought of that? We definitely, like, at least we need dual talents for our PvP board and PvE board, or for our, Nightmare Dungeons board and boss, like, Uber Lilith board, like, it's so annoying to spend minutes, like in the end it's gonna become hours changing the Paragon board. Most people won't even try other builds, or they won't even try to kill Lilith, or they won't try, PvP. They will simply not try what the game has to offer, because they can't be arsed to spend an hour, changing all of the Paragon points. It simply makes no sense. Either give us dual talents, or give us the option to, reset all Paragon points, or just let us again buy slots, like dual talents, but even more, let us buy slots, where we can save our Paragon boards, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 Paragon boards, doesn't matter, even like including skills, damn, even including gear, just like give us an option to save a specific build, and even if it costs gold, I don't care, let it cost gold, like swapping between the builds, but just let us have saved builds. With 1 second, with one click, we can just go, through them. I think that's super important. And then the 10th, thing that, in my opinion, is just pure disrespect, and that's the battle pass. Like, I'm sorry, the rewards are garbage. The cosmetics are not even looking good. Sorry for that. Like, it's not worth even like 1 cent. Literally, you get nothing good. You don't even get enough in-game coins to be able to buy the new battle pass. You don't even have enough to buy a single item. Like, what is that? What disrespect is that? Like, you buy a battle pass to get something, something extra, some cosmetic, something nice, but you just can't, because yeah, there's just not enough of it. There's just not enough of it. And whoever came up with that, like, please bring them to me. I will bitch slap them, to give the disrespect back, because this is just disrespect. It's nothing else. It's only made to get money from you, but give you nothing. Only to make you feel that you might get something, but you don't. So yeah, that's a really big disrespect, and yeah, I think that's like the biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues that people have with Blizzard in general. It is no longer the company we used to love all those years ago. The company of gamers making games for gamers, making games to be good. You know, now it's just investors, and what they have in heart are money, is money, you know, which money obviously you need it to make a good game, but it's only money. It's not the game at all. Not anymore. Like if it makes money, okay, whatever. It can be garbage as long as we profit. You know, that's the view I think Blizzard has right now, and it is terrible. And Blizzard and basically all of the other companies literally need to follow. Literally need to follow Baldur's Gate and Larian Studio. Like they laid the background, like the template for what a gaming company and games in general need to be. You know, if they can do it, and the way they simply, you know, act as a company, if they can do all that, then everyone else can do it. That's why all the other companies hate them, because they don't want to do it. You know, it's too much work. It's, you know, what we actually need to do good games. We actually need to care about the people. What? And we don't want to steal, like, you don't want to steal money from them? You know, it's just insane, you know. So, yeah, in my opinion, these are the 10 most important things that are either completely missing in the game or are terribly wrong with the game. And if those are fixed, you know, and simply added, then the game can get really, really good. You know, like as I said, better crossplay, better, you know, items, more focus on the team play. You know, all the quality of life features, more rewards, like way more, like 5 times more rewards for the battle pass. At least the ability to buy another battle pass with the coins you got from the first one. You know, the reward for playing the game or something. You know, all of these need to happen to the game if it ever wants to be saved, or if it ever wants to be considered a superb game. And I think, like, it has the potential. I'm having a lot of fun with the game. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm having a lot of fun. But probably if I wasn't making the content, I would have left the game, you know, already as well. Because, like, I'd have nothing to do, and, like, you know, and a lot of my friends left as well, so I'm left with playing alone. So yeah, so this is my take on it. Please, you know, like, subscribe, follow if you like the content. It will help me tremendously. Actually, more than 90% of you are not subscribed, and let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this, like the reasons you love the game, etc. You know, the reasons you came to dislike the game that, as I said, in my opinion, has the ability, has the potential to be absolutely awesome. You know, like awesome. So, thanks for watching. See ya in the next one.